Does God support multiple wives or polygamy? I want to read to you 2 Samuel 12:8. I gave you your master's house and your master's wives into your keeping, and gave you the house of Israel and Judah. And if that had been too little, I also would have given you much more. Again, does God support multiple wives or polygamy? So I want to answer this question for you, but before I do that, I want to give you some biblical evidence to support my answer. So what's the context of this scripture? You see, he slept with another man's wife, he got her pregnant, and then sent that man to the front lines of an army and got him killed. And so Nathan is speaking on behalf of God and exposing his unrighteous life. Let's go to Deuteronomy 17:17 first, as it talks about the principle of a governing king. And it says, neither shall he multiply wives for himself, lest his heart turn away, nor shall he greatly multiply silver and gold for himself. So this scripture is very clear in Deuteronomy. It seems like God is saying we should not have multiple wives. Let's go to Matthew 19:5, where Jesus is quoting Genesis 2:24, and he says, for this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. Now he says wife. He doesn't say wives as in plural. And I love the scripture in 1 Timothy 3, where Paul is teaching his protege, Timothy, how to be an overseer. And he says this person needs to be blameless with one wife. Now, if that's not enough evidence, I love the cultural evidence here as well. Now, if my research serves me well, if there's a transitioning king, like a king dies, like in this case, Saul died and he was married, his widow will not go to a house of a lower rank. The widow will go to another king's house. And here it is, the new king will have to take care of the other widow. Now, one of the things I do is a word study to make sure I'm understanding the words in that particular scripture. Now, when we see the words in your keeping, that also means to embrace. It means in your bosom. It means in your arms. It also means in your care. Now, I truly believe that this is the accurate definition. That word was used around 37 times in the Bible, and only 3 times that word bosom was used for intimacy. So I don't believe that God is saying, David, you have wives to be intimate with. I believe that word means to take care of. Now, going back to this scripture, I truly believe that God is not granting his support to polygamy or multiple wives. You see, what I believe that God is telling David through the prophet Nathan is, David, I gave you Saul's kingdom. And if you was doing your job, you should have been at war in the springtime. But also you had wives to take care of. You had a widow to take care of. And so if your focus was taking care of somebody's widow, you would not be focused into stealing somebody's wife. So I want to hear from you. What do you think that this scripture actually says? Please like, share, and follow our page. And if you want to hear me or my wife break down more scripture, please put it in the comments below.